Yo, what's going on? It's Sean Donato over here. And I'm back with a fucking review of Lupe Fiasco, drill music in Zion. Now, drill music came from Chicago, which really fits this because Lupe's from Chicago. You know, you had your the innovator, Chief Keef. Then you got dudes like Frederick Santana, G Herbo. And then later on, it got a little carried out to the UK. Then it got carried out to the South, where acts like Cemetery, and it's just been a very progressive genre, I should say. Some people don't like drill. Some people don't like drill. I fucks with the drill. But on this shit right here, I feel like Lupe brought it to like a different perspective. That's what I'll say. Different perspective, different execution, I would say. And pretty much going over just like everything that like goes into it, from what inspires it to the hypocrisy of it. And he does it in such like a smooth but rhythmic but yet attention grabbing way, because he's not like super aggressive, but yet he has your attention. You know, he's very charismatic with it. You know, very much a lot of character to the way he executes it. You know, with certain vocal variations, and definitely coming through with some soulful vocals too, I must say. Like Childish Gambino, better watch your ass. Like, I'm kidding. But nah, like Lupe, I feel he's definitely pushed himself here. And the album kicks off with a very compelling like introduction from Aisha Jaco. If I'm saying that correctly, if I'm not, I'm sorry. My pronunciation could be a little shabby. But this album is not too shabby, not shabby at all, really. I mean, there's a few spots here where I do feel like the vocals could have been a little better, production could have been a little better, but there's only like 2 times this happens, you know. But we'll get into that later. And what for me, what kicked off the album from the musical standpoint was AUTOBOTO, where Lupe finds himself in court in the system, battling with cops, gang members in the society, and even the industry too. And he just carries himself as a one-man army against like everybody coming at him. And this track bangs too, like really bangs. Like, this is like, you pass me the aux chord, this is what I'm gonna play type bangs. You know what I'm saying? And also, I do love the sweet and dreamy melodic outro from Naira at the end of it. And I do feel like she really brought a nice touch to it, brought a nice melodic touch. And another one of my favorite tracks on here, Precious Things, is another track about like the confliction of pretty much the people that you loved turning against you. You know, you hold them very near and dear to you with so much endearment, and you basically give your all to show that love, and they just come back and betray you. So the precious things that you love just come back and bada bang, getting at you. Kind of like Fredo the Michael in The Godfather 2. No, like, I'm Italian. I gotta throw that in there. You know, after like showing them nothing but like love, admiration, it just comes back with like, they just come back with a devastating lack of mutual feeling, which is heartbreaking. It really is. And I dig the sentiment behind it. I really dig it. And I love the bars on here too, where Lupe says, "We used to throw the Shaka Honolulu from the stage. Now you just want to throw hands and technicals on my plays." Like, damn. Damn, Lupe. You ain't have to go that hard. Well, nah, you can do what you want to do. But I love that you did it. Love that you fucking did it. Also, Lupe brings on here, which he's done throughout his career, super metaphorical fashion. And speaking of fashion, I dig the way that he illustrates very, very honestly a sales pitch from this salesman trying to pitch him jewelry and telling him the honest to God truth of the pros and cons behind it. You know, from like being a target inside the community and just dragging it to very extensive proportions. And Lupe goes in an elaborate fashion as well. So he's giving you his perspective and also one from the salesman too. Extremely a job well done with that. And Miss Mural metaphorically paints a picture of, no pun intended, or is there? The historical and the consequential progression. I shouldn't say progression because it's not a good thing. The historical continuation of capitalism. And there's a twist to it at the end too. So I'm not gonna spoil that for you, but it is pretty nice, pretty compelling. And this just goes to show you, like, consistently how Lupe is just one of the best lyricists in the game. You know, when he says on the track, "I come around to help like Batman utility belt." Come on now. Come on. Like, at first I didn't really catch that, but then I was like, oh shit. I laughed because of just how clever it was. You know, like, it's just one of those bars that just hit. And Lupe is pretty much showing his music as like a savior of some sort. You know? Something he really deems as art. And honestly, I do feel like his music is kind of a savior to the game in a way. By the way, he's like dropping jewels. And on drill music and Zion, I feel he takes another jab at capitalism, but he does it in a very different way in comparison to the last one. And it basically shows like the events through his life, how it's just made him a very, not really a doomer, but yeah, pretty much a doomer, just like a very dismal perspective on life with the observations of the horrible experiences of like racism and, well, I guess you could say that like capitalism and racism, it falls on the fuckery tree. Let's be honest here. And I do love the like nocturnal feeling of this. I do love the dreamy, jazzy production on here, with the twinkling piano keys sprinkling over the boom bap drums, and when the sax kicks in, oh man. Now, I was talking about gripes before, you know, in Seattle, I do feel kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. It does. And I do feel like Nara definitely doesn't really bring her best on here. And she's killed it, you know, on other performances on here. It's just the vocal performance on here I wasn't really feeling that well. I don't know, but that's just me. Don't have to take it from me. Don't take a critic's opinion to heart. But if you feel the same way I do, that's cool too. And I do feel that album ends on a very creative and definitely a very powerful note too. Samba note as well. And Lupe definitely takes a risk here because he basically ends off the first verse early, saying rappers died too much. That's it. That's the verse. And then literally lets the beat ride out into the hook. And after the second verse, though, he does bring elaboration to his statement and just does it in a very compelling way, talking about the hypocrisy of the music and how rappers are basically just rapping about it, and Lupe pretty much sharing a self-awareness to them complaining about the crimes and then rapping about doing the crimes, and it's just really something else. And the line about incarceration, like seeing the windows crying because of the rain, it definitely really has some artistic merit and power right there. And I do love the kind of post-rock, if I dare say, like post-rock-esque type of outro where it's like has the reverb style guitars, a psychedelic feel to it, very dreamy, and then just ends right there, and that's the album. And to be honest, I feel like this is probably Lupe's best album. Maybe. Food and Liquor was dope. Tetsuo and Youth, dope. But I feel this is a contender right here, for sure. And I give it, I'm not doing the chef's kiss thing no more. Sorry. Instead, we're doing bada bings. That's what we're doing. So I give this 4 bada bings out of 5. 4 bada bings out of 5. And if you felt the same way, let me know in the comments why. If you wasn't fucking with this, let me know in the comments why. So that's it. Lupe Fiasco. Drill music in Zion. Sean Donato. I'm out of here.